Hi, I'm Alfredo Roselli, founder of Enflip. We help Amazon brands understand what is actually happening inside their accounts, and more importantly, why. On this channel, we break down real situations we see in clients' accounts, explain what's really going on, and how to make better decisions based on that data. So today, I want to show you a case that looked impossible at first. Let me tell you about a case that came up during an audit we were doing for a brand. At first glance, nobody knew what was going on. We were reviewing performance by ASIN and comparing two data sources. On one side, the Amazon Advertising Console, and on the other, their profitability dashboard. The numbers didn't match, not just slightly, they were mathematically impossible. The ads dashboard was showing more units sold through advertising than the entire business had actually sold in total. For example, the ads console might report 200 units attributed to ads, while the entire account had only sold 120 units in that same time period. So they asked us a simple question: how can ads report more units sold than the business actually sold? That was the beginning of the investigation. What most advertisers would assume. Now, here's the interesting part. If you looked at the advertising dashboard, everything looked fantastic. The campaigns had great numbers, low ACoS, strong CTR, strong conversion rate, strong sales. If most advertisers saw those metrics, the natural reaction would be simple: increase the budget, scale the campaigns, because those ads appeared to be printing money. And honestly, that's exactly what most brands would do. But this brand did something smart. They compared the ad dashboard to their actual business data. And the moment they did that, the story stopped making sense, because you cannot sell 200 units through ads if the business only sold 120 units. So the real question became, where are those extra ad sales coming from? Where we started looking. The first thing we always do in situations like this is verify the source of truth. We checked Amazon Business Reports, the data that tracks the actual units ordered by customers. Those numbers match the P&L dashboard perfectly. So the real units sold were correct, which meant the discrepancy had to come from the advertising side. At that point, we started isolating campaigns connected to the ASINs, showing this mismatch. And very quickly, a pattern appeared. Almost every one of those ASINs had sponsored display campaigns running. And in many cases, specifically, VCPM sponsored display campaigns. When we see that pattern, there are two mechanisms we immediately check. Mechanism one, buy box traffic leak. The first mechanism involves something many advertisers overlook: buy box ownership. Sponsored product ads typically stop running if you lose the buy box, but sponsored display campaigns can continue serving traffic even when you don't control the buy box on the listing, which creates a strange situation. Your ads sends a shopper to a product page, but another seller owns the buy box. So when the shopper buys, they buy from that other seller, not from you. But you still paid for the ad that brought them there. Now imagine that happening across dozens or hundreds of clicks. You are paying for traffic, but another seller is capturing the sale, and the sale is being attributed inside your ad console. Mechanism two, view through attribution. This second mechanism is a little more subtle. It happens with VCPM sponsored campaigns. Let me show you the sequence. A shopper is browsing Amazon, they see your sponsored display ad, they don't click. Later, that same shopper searches again. This time, they click your sponsored ad, then they buy. In that situation, the sponsored products campaign gets click attribution, but the sponsored display campaign may also receive view through attribution because the shopper saw the ad earlier, so now the two campaigns are attributing the same purchase. When this happens across many campaigns, the advertising console starts counting sales in ways that don't match the real business numbers. Why? The numbers look impossible. Now combine these two mechanisms. Some purchases are happening on listings where you don't own the buy box. Other purchases are being counted twice through view through attribution. When enough of these situations happen across many campaigns, the advertising console can report more units attributed to ads than the business actually sold, which is exactly what the client was seeing. Once we explained these mechanisms, the mystery immediately made sense. This case wasn't about ads being broken. It wasn't about sponsored display being bad. The real lesson was about how to interpret attribution correctly. Sponsored display is extremely useful when used the right way. It expands reach, keeps the products visible across Amazon, and influences shoppers earlier in their journey. But if you read Amazon attribution numbers the same way you read sponsored product performance, you can easily overestimate how much revenue those campaigns are actually driving. And it's exactly what the brand was about to do before we looked deeper. A simple mismatch in reported units turned into a deep understanding of how Amazon attribution actually works. So if you ever open your Amazon ads dashboard and the numbers look too good to be true, there's a good chance you're looking at attribution metrics rather than incremental sales. And understanding that difference is one of the most important parts of managing Amazon advertising at scale, because the goal isn't just to run ads. The goal is to understand what's actually driving the sale. If this kind of breakdown is useful to you, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going to be publishing a lot more videos about this. Real cases from Amazon accounts and the lessons behind them. If you want to go deeper, check out the other videos on the channel, where we break down campaign structure, attribution, and how Amazon advertising actually works behind the scenes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.